Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities Skylines, the 1 hour a day build in our city of Lifstrom. I am your host and insane mayor Zerberus. And yeah, we put in a forestry industry last episode. Not quite going as well as we would like it to quite yet. Then again, this residential is nowhere near filling up. We threw out our normal commercial here and we put in some low density tourism, and it's actually not too bad. I think we can live with that. It's not so much about the skyline as about the purpose in that particular area. And low density, those are hopefully as high as they're going to get. And yeah, so I will just grab a sip of whiskey cola and let's let it run. So, let's take a quick look on the industry area. Where were we? There it is. Autumn forest products. We've hit our production level. Hey, we've managed to get 8 more workers. 7 since the last time we looked, but 8 since the long stagnation at 41. So, okay, it's starting. We're starting to get some residential demand. That's good. So maybe this is starting to work out the way we want it to. So, and what we did over here, we changed the selection, the specialization, and set it to low density. Here we're not going to change the specialization in this commercial zone, but we are going to set it all to low density. Except for like maybe this chunk. Just over on this side. I think we'll leave that as high density, just so it kind of like also like rises into the tourism zone a little bit. In fact, we may actually cull this a little bit and just have the tourism like really centered around this area. In fact, since this is a tourism zone, let's toss in an attraction or two. Do they have walking paths? Not there, but we can change that. Do we have 4-lane roads with grass on them? We do, but those are the larger ones. That said, do we want to do that? Do we want to do that? Do we want to do that? No, we'll act. Yeah. We'll leave it the way it is. Actually, no, we won't. Because that'll just make the hotels smaller if there's less room, and that's actually a good thing. And it'll make it greener. That's always a good thing. And then we can take these cul-de-sacs and just use normal 2 lanes for those. Yeah, okay. So, we're going to redesign their roads. Use these wide 4-lane roads with trees in them. May or may not cause some damage to that bridge. And or a path or two, yeah. So we'll have to repath when we're done. You know what, we'll rebridge when we're done as well. Why can I not upgrade to this type? I'll tell you I can't upgrade. Oh, that's why I can't upgrade to that type. Eee. That's disgusting. Don't worry, we'll put that avant-garde-ish bridge back in. We'll just add this road first. Don't tell me what I can and can't do. Oh, it still looks ugly. So, we'll move the nodes and see if that doesn't help. Problem almost solved. That looks a little bit more reasonable. It's not so good to have those 2 intersections that close to each other, though, so I'd like to kind of move that out around a little bit and maybe pull this back just a hair. I mean, now we have 3 intersections pretty close to each other, but they're more reasonably close. So, and exactly, tourism stops here, so not that that necessarily matters. Because again, if the idea is to redesign the whole area anyway, basically any road in here is fair game. Just make it nice and spacious. While, especially in the tourist area, limiting the size of the buildings that will actually be in there. So here, that we're actually going to want... Well, will we want to leave that? I think we can repair that path if it even changes. It did. That's really a bit high, isn't it? There. I love that the movement mod works underground. So, and that looks even better than before when you think about it. We just have to move this in and back a little bit. Yeah, now that's, with the exception of a little bit of ground clipping, looks just fine. I think we can absolutely live with that, yeah. So, where was that 4-lane road? Oh, it also helps us see that there's actually a zoning issue in there. Some dumbass, i.e. me, left some high density chunks back in there. Yeah, you know what, we'll still go with the 4-lane roads just for the pure size. And for the yeah, for the visuals basically. That one we're actually going to want to leave as the road it was. Metro should be fine, but we'll pull this out just a hair just in case. And that bridge turned into a little triangle. And we'll actually, yeah, exactly, we'll leave the bridges out. Because now, of course, traffic flow is going to change. And we want to see what it changes to before we put these back in. Any more bridges we want to kill? Or need to kill, I should say. Of course, there's going to be 10 million traffic lights we have to kill, and paths to put back in, and. So let's just get to that. So, not road bending. There. Node snapping. So, that's those. Put a path in here. May as well put a path in here. I mean, They can walk up like vertical paths. It's kind of hilarious sometimes. Oh, we forgot to do this one. That was of course a mistake. And we forgot to do this one. That was also a mistake. Anyone else got mistaken? Nope. Zoning fail. All of this also can still be rezoned. Well, needs to be rezoned is actually the correct set of words. Another fail. So, and since this is now a tourist zone, no, this actually isn't, that's right, this is still normal commercial, but it needs, actually, no, we'll leave that set to high density for normal commercial, exactly, but we'll have the low density then over here, exactly, that was the plan. So, da-ding, da-ding, ding, ding, da-ding, ding, ding. I think that's everything. It looks like everything, except over here. Gotta go through here again. Go through here again. Zippity doo dah. Zona DA. So now that should though be everything. So we can now let this run again. And start our commercial destruction over here, where we may actually wind up doing the same thing as far as the roads go. And this is again just normal commercial, so this shouldn't be too much of a problem to get filled back in by anything. We may even add another landmark or two while we're at it. Something like maybe the oppression office. I mean, it's definitely really starting to earn one. Ding 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 ding. So, and we've hit everything in those blocks. You know what? We will actually, yeah. Why skimp? Just do it right, straight from the bat. As far as anything I do could be considered right, at least. At the general hospital. Not even sure we actually need that there, but we'll leave it. Can't hurt. Yeah, and I think the larger roads are actually also going to complement those biodomes a little bit better. You know what, screw it, we'll make that 4-lane as well. Just to give them lots and lots of room. So, low density at least up to here.
Coffee, fuel of the modern economy. The age-old Italian tradition of burning beans and drinking the bitter bean juice. At Burn Bean Coffee, our environment is perfect for all of your work needs. There's no better place to be distracted than the Burned Bean coffee shop and cafe. Our coffee technicians are trained.
Then we'll take a quick look at anything else that might need to be moved. I don't think it caused us a problem here, though it might cause us a slight issue with the metro station.
Sippy sip it, coffee fans. Burned Bean coffee. Get it while it's hot.
So, is that the surface painter? Yeah. No, not that big. And we just want to delete some of this back here. Because this is now no longer necessary. We can use a slightly larger brush. Just cull back to sand, 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 gravel. That's what we're looking for. Just to basically right under the fence and not necessarily too much more. Yeah, that works. Excellent. So now all of this is a new low density low density commercial zone. With tourism over here, getting no demands on anything. We're actually still getting people moving in, which is a bit surprising, but don't worry. We have things planned for them too. I think what this may actually be doing is just powering commercial growth in other areas, now that I think about it. So, do we have a high-rise ban in here, by the way? General purpose commercial, yes. Where's the... There, that's what we're looking for. Sunnyside Hills, policies. They have a high-rise ban, excellent. So all of this is going to only go up to level 2 and stay there. Which means that's about as high as they're going to get. And that's kind of what we want out here. Which is not to say that's exactly what we want out here. So, and I think that should actually hit everything now. Go up once more through the middle just to make sure. Obviously, we don't want to unzone that, and that's why this is paused. So that in case we do hit something that doesn't really need to be removed, we can very, very quickly rezone that before they decide that that building just needs to go. And in fact, just noticing these are not the one-way roads yet out here. The one-way goes only until here. So, we've actually got more road expansion to do. Yeah, that's a bit too much with that waste transfer facility in there, so we'll actually... we'll use the move it mod then, in that case. Spin at 90 degrees. Just put it up here then. Nothing easier than that. Oh, that's gonna stay a 6, exactly. How much is that gonna encroach on the biodome? Enough to matter. As will this one. bridge may need to be slightly redesigned. The Bridge of Hilarity. But again, we'll wait until we know what the traffic is actually like coming in here, since we're redesigning the entire area before we put bridges back in. And again, the reason for this redesign is twofold. One, I'm actually not really liking the whole skyline, and also to a certain extent where people are moving from where. And also, I actually do want to reduce population, believe it or not. Because we're just busting a little bit too far out of the seams. If we really want to keep this going for like another year or so, then needs to be like at least remotely fun to play. Really, just that one gets left. So where does... This is the line where we can know... No, actually, this is also... Okay. We're going to wind up doing a lot of moving in here. But then again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, again, this is all in the name of progress. If you can call anything that I'm doing progress. Yeah, screw it, they'll get that one too. So, while we're at it, we'll knock out these bridges again. Because again, we now have no idea what the traffic's actually going to be like in here. So we'll find that out first. Although I do think that one's probably still going to be necessary. Still, we'll get rid of it and find out. Watch our park use go down to like 0. And then we'll know, yeah, no, we actually don't need any of this anymore. Nobody wants to come over here. Because that should also lower the amount of industry traffic that's coming in here with all of this then being low density. We may even spatter some residential in, although that's a bit less likely. So those were all of our Insano bridges, right? No, not quite. We've still got a few on the main drag. Yeah, the automatic bridge builder does sometimes do some really psycho things, but it works. Gotta give it that. It works. Yeah, exactly. Knock out this roundabout bridge as well. So, destructive remodeling. Now we've got so much... Oh, that's right. This is the one we need so that we can tear out the rest of the high density that's back in here. In fact, we can actually do that with the marquee tool. Probably be easier. Okay, didn't hit anything I wasn't wanting to. Out here the world looks a little bit different. That's interesting. That was already low density, but too late. Now it's gone. That should be everything back in there. And we'll also knock out this chunk. And turn, yeah, exactly. That will also be low density. Can already set that up. Might as well. So and now we have, yeah, we've basically screwed the entire commercial zone over here. So offices in here, just between those turnoffs. And as well, no, not out there, that's right. Although that one's right next to the turnoff. We actually do want to put offices back out in here. There was a little... I just saw a little tab of path going over. I was trying to figure out where that went. Now I can't even find it anymore. Or was that just this and a... Oh, that's what it was. Was that with the shadow over it? So I apparently thought that was just a little tab. Okay. Well, that's nice to know. That I'm still stupid. You know what? We'll actually knock out the offices out in here, though. Well, not back in here. Those are actually fine. Not in here either. But everything else in there now can be hit with low density. Maybe not out here though. Oh, for F's sake. Always manage to click the wrong tool. So that should work. Big emphasis on should. What is... Oh yeah, that's right. That's the thing that we put in there. In fact, you know what? We'll go with low density in here already as well. Not offices, low density.
Every dish is an archaeological find, like our steak our raptor burger Rex, or the pile of crumbled sticky brownies adventurously named the Dinosaurus.
In fact, you know what? We'll even go with low density in here.
Into the wild at Dinosaurus. You can dine in or dine oh.
What does it feel like to drive a cloud? What does it feel like to steer a river?
Because again, the idea is partly to displace workers, and partly also to change our skyline and just our total layout. Maybe add like more parks and more air inside of our commercial zones. In fact, we're going to want to put that a little bit closer to the coastline. Maybe nearer to the next metro stop. Let's put it halfway between. Put it here. Back in there, exactly. It gets its own little space, and these towers shouldn't be too high. So... maybe throw the Colossus out here. That'd probably not be a bad idea. Since this is kind of our coast. Yeah, and that was not anarchied in. Excellent. The Colossus will be served by a little boardwalk. In fact, we'll go with this one. That fits a little bit better, I think, to the beach setting. What do you mean distance too short? I'll give you distance too short. Yeah, and then we can put some more light density commercial, low density commercial out on there. Just on the way out to the Colossus. Oh god, look at how many ships are there. So, and yeah. Now we can start to let this run again, see what kind of an effect that has. If it has any sort of effect. What's the story back here? You finally getting workers? Ah, they're up to 60. We need 150. So displacing people out there does appear to be helping at least a little bit. Just not as much as we'd like it to. Exactly. These are all limited, so they shouldn't go any higher. And again, they're just built up literally right around this little services area. In fact, we can turn these into low density as well. Sorry about that, guys. Not really, but I mean, I can at least act like I might be. In fact, we'll go only with the opposite side for high density. So only on that side of the settlement. But we'll also take this cul-de-sac then. Just to give them at least a little bit of high density space to move into. Not really liking the look of those. We may start working more with themes. Oh, that's right. Now we also have a huge amount of traffic lights to take out. And not just here either. That's something we're also going to have to do now in our initial city, where we just redesigned those areas. Probably even have to do a lot more of it. So let's check on traffic lights and see what the story is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No more seem to have gotten added in out here. That said, those were also all four-way crossings again previously, so. Oh, and that was also? Okay, then in that case we'll also change that one. Did not see that that was also a two-way road. Still no traffic lights back in there, that's nice. But we probably got them on a lot of these side roads now. Basically on every one. Oh, and that's right, we still have to go in and make sure these are still in a reasonable place and not just a place. Any lights out here on this road? No, we got away with that. Nothing too bad down there. I think because all of these were previously already hooked up with 4-lane roads, we may have gotten surprisingly well and easily off. It doesn't look to have caused any major damage, and a lot of our turning lanes are actually still set up even. That doesn't mean we're done though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I think we're almost done then back in here. Assuming everything still works in any way, shape, or form. But I don't see why it shouldn't. Colossus, exactly. That's a boardwalk, so that didn't... Oh, it still counts as a crossing, okay. But that's okay, because that'll basically then be the initial connection for our beach. In fact, we'll draw water for the beaches right now. Yeah, that should be more than far enough. As should that. So, do we want to add any more landmarks in is the question. Actually, first we want to make sure all of these are still at least remotely functional. Exactly, we'll just replace these. And if it says we can't, we'll just move this road. Oh, we still had anarchy on. Not a problem though. There. Oh, because it's so close to the other one now? Okay, that's legitimately a possible problem. Let's see if we can't move some of this over just a hair, so none of these get in each other's way. Yeah, the pumping station's just too close. That should work though. Not the straightest road in the world, but it should work. What's with all of our... Yeah, we may have to replace these as well. Didn't think of the effect it would have on our helicopter park. Can we do a proper non-anarchy replacement? No, we can't, but with anarchy it's a non-issue. So we'll just leave it right there. Road access on this one was on that side, so we should actually be able to just pull these two nodes down a hair. And now it's about the medical choppers, and those are actually going to have to be moved back a little bit. I'm not going to get away without doing that. But that, I think... this, of course, then also has to be moved. Yeah. No anarchy. There. Oh, that's a problem. That's a problem that we can fix, but it's a problem. So I'm gonna say that's gonna work. That's gonna work. And I think that's gonna work too. This might still need to come out a little bit. Just a hair so people can actually walk behind it. In fact, we've even got trees in the middle of the road. Ah, that looks more reasonable. That doesn't look anything even remotely reasonable. So I'll put that in there. Knock out the trees that were originally around it. Replace the trees around the park. Yeah, that works now. Got our helicopter parked back in. Oh, oops, sorry. I was so concentrated on remodeling that I kind of forgot to take a look at the chat. Sorry about that. It went out. Did I miss anything? No, I didn't. At least that. So, not entirely a fan of that little hook there, though. That looks a little bit more reasonable. That's not going to be able to be changed. Yeah, I think now we can really just let it run. The fish market was fine. Oh, wait a sec. We need to absolutely make sure there's no zoning here on this back of the fish market. Otherwise we get the same problem we had already. We don't want zoning actually anywhere around the fish market now anymore. Behind it, yeah, but not in front of it. What kind of weird zoning is this? No, also wrong. There. So, anything we missed? Yeah, of course, all of this that got upgraded now, of course, needs to be rezoned as well. Especially all these areas back in here where we made a significant amount of use of the music of the move it mod, the music mod. I don't think we have a music mod. We have the radio stations, and we're listening to the Deep Focus channel, and yeah, that's our music mod. Not really sure it qualifies as a mod. So, anything else we might want in there? Big Ben is up here. Fish market's down here. I am liking the way the area looks overall now, though. Not liking that node, though. Still just a little bit too close. There. That's much better. So now it's all a question of whether or not any of this comes back in or not. As well as a question of, we're up to 85 workers, so throwing people out of their jobs down here does appear to be helping. The question is it helping enough? That said, I'd also like to zone this as low density. So this is where we're going to start making large population sacrifices. Down here, that said. Up in the... In fact, we can unzone the entire area now that I think about it, because the commercial also has to be low density. So we'll just do that. And that. And now these people are basically in hell, so to speak, because they now all have to move out. Their commercial zone is going to be replaced with a low density commercial zone. Their buildings are going to be replaced with low density buildings. Let's see if we can't get something a little lower in here. Obviously, we do still want to take this side as low density. We may upgrade their roads as well now that I look at it. Or rather, this side is commercial. It's all going to be low density. Use the right one. And now all that goes flying out, and this is where we're going to see our first population losses. So this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So... But that shouldn't actually be a total population loss, because we have residential zones up here that they can move into. Well, theoretically. And the Umbrella Corporation isn't failing us. So, getting some upgrading up there. Always nice. 87 workers. We'll get there eventually. It's a huge distance that we're having to traverse, though. And now, of course, they're also hurting for workers. That was to be expected. The question is, do we really want to go in and just brutally rezone these entire districts to low density? Policies, city planning, high-rise ban, please. High-rise ban, high-rise ban, high-rise ban, high-rise ban, high-rise ban. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. This entire chunk up to the highway is just going to suddenly be eliminated and not know what happened. And of course that's also going to knock out the little commercial nooks that we put in there, but we'll just put those back in then. You know what, we'll just more brutally do this. That's a little bit too brutal. And anything that's in here we'll just rezone quick. It's much easier than doing everything by hand in one shot. So now we add commercial back in where it needs to be added back in. Everywhere where it might have gotten knocked out. That was not knocked out. That was never supposed to be. Those get to stay as offices. Exactly. Now, this entire... not offices, no. Low density commercial, please. That way we can just marquee zone this entire area with impunity, basically. Or almost with impunity. Might get some... Yeah, we got some crap zoning in there. That's not anything huge. So, now where were those little commercial nooks that we had? Out in here.
Which is why we work so hard to get our miners back in the mines where they feel at home. Together we can reunite minerals with the people who love them. Colossal ore.
Was no commercial there. There was, however, once again commercial back in here somewhere. Here, no? No commercial in here? Is that really just... Wait a sec, it was back in there. It was also on both sides, exactly. I know there was some more commercial in here somewhere, though. Fairly certain, yeah, it was spaced around here. In fact, you know what? We'll go for waterfront commercial. No, we won't. We actually want some of those people to be able to live like on the waterfront if they actually want to. But I would like to find that other little commercial nook that was in here. May not have even actually existed, so we'll just drop one in here. Ah, that's where it was. Right next to the train station. Wasn't there some in here as well? Somewhere? I think around Meteorite Park, for example. Or was that just initially planned as a commercial zone and never actually happened? That could be too. There appears to be... You know what? We'll make commercial inside the roundabout. It's low density. It should actually work. And of course out here towards the highway. Because that'll just buffer noise complaints. And that's always a good thing. Especially since we really need to start, again, lowering just our general population. It's just a little bit too much right now. That'll be a little commercial zone. Because again, we've got this, the central station right there, the train station right there, so don't necessarily want people living right next to it. It's just too loud. Next station is over here somewhere. Once again, right next to the highways, just a little bit of commercial. And now comes their mass rezoning. Oh, they are going to hate us for this. I guarantee they are going to hate us for this. But, oh no. Oh, I'm going to hate myself for that. We just did all of that for nothing. Because I stupidly zoned heavy duty commercial as by mistake. Heavy duty residential by mistake, and I almost did the same thing with commercial. All of that for nothing because I'm a dumbass. Welcome to the stream if you didn't already know that. God, that was just a stupid mistake. That's going to cost us significantly. At least in time to redo everything that we did right before it. In fact, we can marquee zone this because this is all commercial. Yeah, I saw it. It got into our residential, but I don't think it went too far. Nope, it's still where we want it to be. Just outside here, right along next to the highway. Nope, not there. That is still, yeah, that's still that side, but going the wrong way. It doesn't have to be commercial. So, okay. Take 2. Put commercial inside that roundabout. Exactly, that's what we were talking about. Wow, without the level of detail fix, these really look grody pretty quick. I may have to re-download that. No, that is a residence, okay. I was just wondering, it looked like a commercial building from the size. Or, as far by the size, I thought it was a commercial building. That's the way I should have said that. That's it, around the botanical garden. No, they don't get commercial directly, but this area exactly becomes a commercial zone. Because it already was before anyway. Exactly, and then we'll put a second one in over here. Nothing massive. And right here, just enough to keep the trains off our back. That should be fine. I'm sorry, house with a helipad, but you have to go. In fact, we'll just take this entire corner here. Up into there. That should do fine. Some commercial over there. Now there's some commercial mixed in all over there, so let's try this one more time. This time with the right zoning tool. Low density, yes. So low density is go. Oh, they're gonna hate us for this. They're really gonna hate us for this. Just watch all of this just turn into like barren land now. But again, I think we do want to slowly cut back a little bit. Why is that tourism? Does a tourism district really go that far? No, it only goes to there. So that should not be tourism. Oh, because we accidentally set that to tourism. So those should now be going out. The hotels that we got. Yeah, one gone. That one should be next. Pasta restaurant. So yeah, no, this is just a barren landscape of nothing. Where we used to have probably like 30,000 citizens or something like that. Let's see if it incentivized people to move up here. We're getting there, we're getting there. Just not anytime fast, but we're getting there. It's starting to work. It's starting to run. And we are getting some export train traffic as well. Because I'm saying export train traffic because that's the only way that any goods can actually go from here currently. They can't actually go into the city anywhere. So now that we've screwed this industry for workers really bad too. You know what, we're going to knock out the offices in the Umbrella Corporation. It's also just another one of those things that we put in that we never really needed to. Doesn't really need to be any zoning in here. Because this is really just its own sectioned off, basically, workspace. Although that said, if we do have a tram station in here, we may throw the offices back in long term. But for now, we're gonna view this as more of a general reset, so to speak. Simply because I realized that we were just building way too much, way too fast, and it was getting too cluttered, and I'd like to open things back up a little bit. Why are you sick? Because you're so close to the highway. Okay, we'll solve that next episode. Let's see what's going in here. High density residential, that's not going to be around for long, I think. Landmark or not, no, that's not going to be around for long. In fact, a lot of this residential stuff in Holly City Park can also go. Basically, anywhere where these massive trees are, we don't need a residential zone. We can take that one, though. Very specifically that one. And that one down there on the corner. That one can also, those can also go, but the rest of this here inside the park, that just needs to go. In fact, we'll do this with a single tile brush. Never thought I would actually use that on purpose. Oh, but they are stubborn. Doesn't mean they get to stay, but it just means they're stubborn. And now that this is opened up, we can really get a better look at what it looks like and what we want to drop in and where. Because we have parks everywhere. We have, what is that? Oh, that's somebody's low-densal. Yeah, great. They're supposed to move into exactly that. What do? I bulldoze it. But this side basically should now start running. Yeah. This is a commercial zone. In fact, we'll put a small commercial zone in here as well. Although they actually have access to the side, and there is a huge commercial zone over on the other side, so we really don't need to go too much commercial in there. No, what we need to do now is basically wait for a few people to move in. Not only here, but up in here as well. 80 out of 192 workers. We need 150 for the next level, so it's doable, but it's not going to be something that's done in 5 or 10 minutes, of course. Especially with this rezoning, redesign going on out here. But I'm thinking that's really something we are actually going to want to do. We may leave a lot of some or a lot of this high density in, but this area, if nothing else, we're going to want to turn into low density. Yeah, again, it's probably going to cost us like 50,000 people or so, but I don't really see that as a problem. I actually see that as positive. And when we start going in later and then converting some more of these areas, yeah, it's going to get more and more interesting. I'd like to basically relegate high density actually to the city core, because again, otherwise we're just going to get huge amounts of population that we're not actually going to be able to control, and more importantly, we're not going to be able to control the game, and well, that would kind of suck. So income is a bit low, so yeah, let's hope that some of that comes back in. But I think we are really, for the most part, actually also nearing the end of the stream for today. We got 81 workers out of 150, so we're halfway there, just a little bit over. Again, there's still this hope that the rezoning down there and the just flat, straight up removal of living space might cause a few more people to migrate up. I mean, when you think about it, the way up there is actually pretty quick. They just have to zip through here and then they're as good as over there. So yeah, with this slightly catastrophic rezoning, we will end this episode. And yeah, I hope to see you all again next episode. And so, yeah, if you like what you've seen, then please feel free to like and subscribe on YouTube or to follow me on Twitch. And yeah, I think that's about it. You guys have been great as usual. I've been Zerb, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Oh my god.